Killer Mike is one of the best artists you have never heard of. Personally, he's always been one of my favorite lyricists, and I've always been a fan since his debut on Outkast's The Whole World. But it's really a shame because he's one of those artists that performs really well critically, but really suffers commercially, as I guess his audience isn't very large. And most of the songs and singles he puts out aren't circulated on the airwaves, which is really a shame because a lot of people miss out on some great content because it's not put out. And especially with his latest release, Rap Music, released last May, was one of the best albums released last year. For those who don't know, I'm going to say this first, that this is a primarily political album with Mike tackling such topics as government in the track Untitled, the corruption of the justice system in Don't Die, and even an economic greed in Reagan. But I have to say this is hit and miss, not in terms of content, but delivery, as some of the lyrics come across as basic compared to the high-level delivery of the rest of the track. But this doesn't kill the experience this album offers, and Mike's decision to take the reins and executive produce, and also to team up with New York artist/producer E.L.P., in my opinion, one of the greatest decisions he could have made. E.L.P.'s beats are freaking insane and perfectly complement Mike's flow to the point it almost seems as if they were made for each other. Also, Mike brings out some of his best material, especially on tracks like Reagan, when you have to think past the initial premise of the track to truly get the topic at hand. And this is something I've missed in music for a while. Music that forced me to think and forced me to open my mind to the issues at hand in the world. Also, he brings back the classic storytelling of old school hip hop with the track JoJo's Chillin', while also providing a very, very clever double entendre about the efficacy of the police. And I have to say, my standouts on this album are definitely the tracks Untitled, Don't Die, Anywhere But Here, Go, and the second to last track, Willie Burke Sherwood, which is a great, I guess, semi-biopic tale that Mike really pours his heart out on. If I have any gripes about the album, it's the fact that the tracks Big Beast and Southern Fried flow nice. They sound like everything else I hear on the radio. I may have to re-listen to them to see if there's any underlying message there, but they really sound generic to me. And the production on Anywhere But Here is a little dodgy with low vocals, but I'll chalk that up to the fact that the version I listened to may have been bad. So all in all, this album gets a 4 out of 5 from me. It is really good, but not perfect. And if you have a chance to buy it, I strongly recommend you go get this. As of this recording, it's $4.99 on Amazon digitally, and it's well worth the money. Thank you for watching, and come back next week where we tackle a new release from Will Downing.